Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him! You stuttering prick here! Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
I'd like to talk to y'all about folding under questioning. Now, this is going to be one of my little deep dives into the universe of personality. Recent transpirings led me to want to talk about this because I feel like as much as I make memes out of things on my stream, I always try to base whatever it is I'm doing on some type of rolling metaphor. I feel like it is a new thing. It is something that should be carried along with a bunch of audiences where instead of them just being inside jokes, I'm sorry, my floor is literally like not level, so so I keep sliding down. I get this impression over time that people who hear their name, people who hear things about them, have always had a tendency to regress back into the little high school, middle school days. And because that is how a lot of us have social frameworks, especially after COVID. I don't blame people for this. I used to say at the end of COVID, everybody came out of it with one of George Costanza's traits. I must be liked! And I used to remember how that was even funny. But now we're actually mingling and out in the outside world ever again. So it's important for us to recognize when you feel like your ground, and I mean this personally, when you feel like your ground has been stepped on by unwashed feet. That was a bar. When you feel like your ground has been stepped on by unwashed feet, you have to remember that it is still your water and you're tending to the soil that creates the roots that grow into plants, that grow into trees, that hopefully bear fruit of your labor. I have said a bunch of times, the amount of trolls, the amount of like actual schizophrenic weirdos who peruse these websites that we all exist in now, who follow these streamers, who have these conversations about other people, who include themselves in the idea of the word of drama, capitulate immediately under frameworks of analyzation. And I've noticed that this has been one of the key ways in which people like Destiny, people like Sam Hyde, people like FouseyTube, hell, even, what's his name? We could go all the way back. The Russian guy. Vladsky? Oh my God, I can't believe it. I see his face in my head and I just forgot his name. Even they making the lol cow eternality of it all. But this isn't just with people that people make fun of. Vitlali, something like that. Vitali. I think it was just literally Vitali. Vitali TV. Anyway. I noticed that these people who not only who get laughed at have some sort of staying power, but the people who attack those people have staying power. And that staying power creates atmospheres where you don't know how to internalize your own personal feelings because you've stretched yourself so thin thinking about how to play defense so often that there's been nothing in your head and there's been nobody around who wanted to sit there and tell you like, yo, not everything is a challenge. Not everything not everything is that same high school, yo, I really wanted to pull you to the side, but instead I wrote about it on AIM and told everybody in the group chat before you even got to school. When I say you might fold under questioning, I mean if somebody like me puts you in a situation where you're either thought that you're forced to respond or that you feel like you need to respond, there are many different ways to go about it. And the fact that all it takes for some people is just the minorest push to put them in a situation where you have two roads to take. And a lot of our friends, a lot of content creators seem to keep taking the other road. And I hate to go all Robert Frost on this, but the road less traveled is definitely the one you should probably take. But that's not up to me to decide. I find it extremely strange that those who have gathered audiences, that those who have people who pay for their lifestyles, and I really mean that, if you're making enough money off of, let's say, Twitch, to sustain yourself, even with an extra $500-600 a month, you have already broken through the echelon of expectation. Therefore, you must now present yourself and move in a way that is in accordance with how you've grown to that spot. If you start taking the decisions of others that are above you, if you start discussing things, if you start worrying about the world around you because of one small push, this could be anything from let's say you got a racist chatter in your chat one day, just a random first namer. Spending 5 minutes to figure out why they said that? Cool. Spending the entirety of the rest of your broadcast talking about it? That's a little crazy, don't you think? But in this day and age, that road of extrapolating meaning outside of everything and not looking inward, constantly being defensive, makes you say, my chat is growing when I'm talking about somebody else. So here's what I'm going to do. At some point or another, I'm always going to talk about somebody else. And if I wasn't correct about this, then we wouldn't have the ecosystem that we have. So this is not like a grand revelation. This is just my feelings on it. When I say you might fold under questioning, if I examine what your output is, because I'm a content creator myself, I will cross streams with other people at some point in time. If I or anybody is able to push you to like completely devoid yourself of substance, to drain everything and boil it all down into, I'm going to do that one thing forever, then I don't think you were ever built to be an artist. That's output shit. That's cog in the machine shit. Just as CM Punk said to Seth Rollins, you took your ball and went home? That's corporate speak. That's a corporate bootlicker line. Who said that? Who was the guy who made that famous? Tell me his name. And these dynamics play out all across your life. They always will, especially when you get older. I'm not really speaking to teenagers at this point in time with any of my pieces. So I'm going to assume that high school, middle school still work the same. Might be new dynamics, but same results, same output, same input. And I think I can say that because, you know, I haven't been a teacher past the pandemic except for online classes. So I can't talk about interactions. But I can talk about what I saw in 2019 and 2020. I think it is extremely weak-skinned to go off the cuff about anything on this website. I've always said this. And that's kind of why I look at Hassan as this anomaly of a person who does the work, but because they've gotten into such a routine, he doesn't go through and explain that work. He assumes that is a standard that should have already been set by the fact of an audience that trusts him with the news. I agree with that, but people are stupid. So at that top level, if the guy I want to aspire to be to in terms of size, in terms of content, in terms of collaborations, does the thing but doesn't say it out loud, how many people that emulate that person do you think are going to also do the same thing and not say it out loud? When you fold under questioning, all I gotta do is look at you just sideways and be like, hey, what do you mean by that? And if that sets you off, if you're not prepared to like answer why you're doing the thing you're doing, you're folding. You're not creating a response, you're reacting to a thing, you're folding. And if all it takes to get on your negative side is one thing, then you're not built for this. Especially if you're a minority. You're not built for this. How many people don't come in here and challenge me and I got to sit there and let my chat handle it because I'd be like, yo, I want to smoke. Because everybody has a point. If you're a human being using this website, I assume that if you come in here and make a black joke, you were trying to, what was the goal you were trying to achieve? to get me to say something out of context, to clip something, post it on LSF, do this or do that or whatever. Who cares? You're creating content out of me? No, I'm the content creator. You're the viewer. You interact with me to enhance my content. I don't interact with you to enhance myself. The give and take, the push and pull, we've lost that audience understanding because we've gotten closer and closer and closer and closer to the artist. That means that my framework and approach towards everything is the same thing CM Punk said when he walked back into WWE. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So if you don't like me, let's make some money out of it. Let's do something with it. Y'all remember when we were doing the first promo for the TWA and Globus sent me a promo all on his own? Globus hit us with the promo all on his own. I didn't ask him to make that. There's mutual respect. It's a video game. You guys aren't like actually beefing in real life. Yeah, but I said shit about him that could apply not only to his character, but to him. He could be like, homie, why'd you put that in the promo? I don't like that. I don't like that. But if I have a point to make, if I have a thing to focus on, if my intention is everybody get better, then that should come through in the text that I write in the chat. That should come through in the way I speak to you. I don't fold under questioning. I always got a plan B. I always got a plan C. I always got a plan D. I've been talking about the live action manga that I've wanted to make for approximately a year now. Went out in the middle of the summer of 2024, shot all the chapters. Only 2 chapters are done. You know why? Because I'm hinging my success on being able to say, I will get 1,000 people in here, I will make enough money to do Twitch full time, then I will wake up at 9 o'clock one morning, and from 9 to 12, I'll work on it with the chat so they can see it be built, and then they can send it out to their friends and be like, yo, my streamer made this, and he's updating it all the time. If you want to see how he makes it, come to the chat. Give people a purpose to be in here as opposed to, I wonder what he's talking about today. Because I don't fold under questioning. There's no dead space. I could leave this stream on with my old content for hours. We wouldn't even scratch the surface of a quarter of it, if an eighth. And I get engagement from that. I cleaned my room a couple days ago. I think it was either New Year's Eve or the day before New Year. One of those. And I got niggas in here watching me. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe it could be, study space, a nice lurk space. They're not listening to too much loud shit. They want a space to quiet down or whatever. But everybody in here is still talking to me like I'm reacting to shit, like I'm me. That space that everybody else has is unique to me and me alone with the people that come in here. How many times do you feel like you're getting a unique experience on this website? I don't fold under questioning. And that sentiment is not just a meme. It is not just and it could be. Nobody else has to look into it this deeply, but this is my community, this is my content, this is what I do. When we say you might fold under questioning, it looks like under the slightest amount of pressure, you crack. You crack under all. And we can see that in the way you react to people. Fuck the content that you react to. Fuck the YouTube videos that you respond to. Fuck the reacts to 90-day react. When it comes time to hear somebody else speak, and they might be talking directly to you, they might be talking about you, they might be talking around you. That's the real you. If the real you don't match the bravado you got when you making other shit, don't bring that shit on the internet. It will not look good for you. You might feel good in the moment, but now niggas know how to press your buttons. I would love to say, in a fascist regime like the one we're facing, maybe ain't a good idea to be a minority with easily pushable buttons. I had to learn this the hard way. About the folding under questioning. I'll tell you a point in time where I folded under questioning. A lot of my youth. Hell, maybe until I started smoking weed, I won't even give it a second to. But I was just talking to my chat about all my previous jobs. I've brought up on a stream before about how I got fired from my last job because of fucking Mudang. That was a couple weeks ago. I folded under questioning. I could have spoke out about it. I could have been something. I could have said, I have reasonable fucking to fight this. What did I do? I rationalized it. I said, okay, As long as everyone else can see that this isn't like a condemnation of my character and this is just a bad situation at a bad time, I can move on from it. Moved on from it, now what? Oh, we all miss you. We want you to come back. Because I let it sit. Because I don't... In the irony of me talking about a situation in which I folded, that's a guy who don't fold under pressure. Bring him back. We need him. If that's the way the response is everywhere I go, with old students, old colleagues, old friends coming into the stream, coming on the stream, hanging out with me, and we take a couple pictures, whatever, and I talk to you about what happened, and blah, blah, blah. You don't think all of those people, all of these people, you think all of them think, or I've lied to all of these people to get them to feel that way about me for the rest of my life? For the rest of their lives? I got people in here who put me on that just stopped watching me, that just started watching me, still put their kids on even though I be cursing. Because I don't be talking about sucking whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's, hey, he might say some harsh words, but I grew up with him. And he's still the same person I grew up with. So even if he going off about something, I think there's a lesson. You got your kids listening to me? Now you could have, let's say, I'll take it with literally Globus. You could have a chatter who has kids who watch you, but that's somebody I know. Do you have somebody you know with kids that watch you? I'm a smaller community, so with 25,000 people, it could be expected. With 10,000 people, it could be a chance. With 1,000 people, probably one. But I got like, what, 20 people in here, 10 people in here, 6 people in here, 8 people in here. Some days I have 5, some days I have 15, some days I get 40. I don't care about the number. I care that when you walk in here, the thing you take away from this stream was, damn, that shit was good. Matter of fact, I can't even come here every day because if it's going to hit like that every day, I'm not emotionally ready for that. Good. I helped you evolve some piece of your life within 5 to 10 minutes. And all I had to do was light, camera, action. I don't fold under questioning, but a lot of y'all do. A lot of y'all do. And it's irritating to me because it shows a level of ignorance within you that shouldn't exist if you're trying to do this and be a face. If you're trying to do this and represent something. If you're trying to do something that makes a change. You can change people's lives by being a character. For lack of a better example, like, I'm sure Nick Merckx has changed some people's lives. Helped them through times or whatever. But the quality of that help gets muted out by the fact that you don't follow that up consistently. So your chat becomes defensive of you. Your chat will say things out loud that you will see as agreement with whatever you put on the screen. Because you've conditioned them to think that you're the only moral compass. You wouldn't bring this up if it wasn't important. That's what everybody who goes to every stream does. I don't watch people play games because I think they're really nice at it and I'm trying to get tools from it. That could be a piece of it. But if I wanted to do that, I'd watch walkthroughs, I'd watch playthroughs, I'd watch tutorials. There's got to be an element of you that they like. And they trust that whatever you bringing up on there ain't no hippity hoopla. Even if it's me playing fucking Marvel Rivals, I say a lot, yo, I'm mad nice at this. Played it a couple of times in front of y'all. MVP, MVP, SVP, MVP, 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 MVP. Go look at my records. So when I put that game on, it's because I have interest in it and I'm not playing it for the trend or the whatever. Experiences. My great friend Josie Rose C once taught me one of the best lessons I think I ever learned in life. The experience is worth me exchanging time. I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything from anybody. If you're willing to spend your time here, I should be willing to pay it. What do you get in return? Some emotes? Some ad-free broadcasting at the top of the hour? See, that would have been a good top of the hour ad break. What do you get? Knowledge, updates, introspection. I love Mystery Dungeon. Well, my partner loves it even more. My final thing, because I want to wrap this up, because I like this discussion. This is exactly what I'm looking at my notes. That's why you keep seeing me peer up. The last part of this I wanted to say is on a personal level. depending on who you are, this might not apply, but for all my smaller creators out there, I'm going to just say this once and one time only. Not everything is an indictment of your character until it is. People will see through the front you present when you start folding under questioning. They will speak about it. You might not get the most vocal people to speak about it, but you will absolutely get people to see the real you. And if you don't know how to control that, if you're not sure when that's going to come out, if you're not secure, good luck, because eventually you will crack under the pressure. You will legitimately fold under that question. And people will start to pick on that wound over and over and over again. You could have had it better for yourself. But when it comes to people like me and some others, there are a ton of people who know what we're about and will notice the flaws in your character because you can't explain why those are bad things. I'm the Paradigm Shift. And hopefully I've uploaded this early enough that you can hit that like, that bell, comment for the algorithm. I'm out of here.